A few days ago, I was talking to a friend. I said a word. The word was white. It was nothing, it was a word. A man walked by, a stranger. He looked at me with this weird, licentious, shameless look on his face. And I felt shame, immediately, automatically, before I could even think. I didn't feel total agency over my right to say whatever words I wanted. I didn't feel the certainty that his projection was his problem, not mine. I feel exposed. I felt wrong. I feel like I should not have said that. And here is the thing. The shame was not the problem. The shame was just a signal. An old recording. A loop that played because my body has been trained since childhood to expect punishment for being free. The problem was what happened next. The instant categorization. You should not have said that. You should be more careful. You should not draw that kind of attention. And the desire to speak freely, to use words without scanning for strangers, without calculating the risk of being seen. It didn't disappear. It bounced off the wall. It became inner complaint. It became unclarity. It became a tightness in the chest that had no name. Most people would call this overthinking. Most people would say, just stop caring what other people think. Most people would tell you to reframe it, to affirm the opposite, to think positive. They are wrong. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that wall is made of, where it came from, why language itself is a real prison, and a four-word method to dismantle it that has nothing to do with thinking harder. The wall of should. Here is a definition you won't find in any psychological textbook. The wall of should is a failed psychological structure built from internalized language that intercepts your natural desires before they can become action. It's not a metaphor. You can feel it in your body, you can sense it when you are about to say something honest and then don't. When you are about to act on a desire and then pause, not to assess, but to censor. When you feel a surge of energy towards something and then a flatness, fogginess, a not knowing what you want. And here is the part that nobody talks about. Overthinking is not a thinking problem, it's a bandwidth problem. Your language centers, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that plans and judges and categorizes, are running so hot that the rest of the brain has nothing left to work with. The parts that feel, the parts that sense, the parts that detect the psychological energy flowing between people in the room. They go dark. The world is made of shoulds. Each one is a break. You should be more careful with your words. You should not be so loud. You should not want that. You should be grateful for what you have. You should not draw attention. You should be more like them. You should not be so much. Every break is a desire that was intercepted before it could reach the outside. Every break is a piece of yourself you were taught to disown. And what happens to the energy behind the desire? It doesn't vanish. It can't. It's life force. It's the thing that kept you moving before you learned to doubt it. So it goes somewhere else. It becomes the tightness, the fog, the endless inner negotiation, the over-caring about what strangers think, the complaint that has no target because the real target is the war, and the war is invisible. Why some people never build this wall? Children with flexible, adaptive parents do not build this wall. Or if they do, it's thin, permeable. They watch their parents hold desire lightly, pick it up, examine it, laugh at it, redirect it, act on it. They learn that wanting is not dangerous, that ambition is legitimate, that wild thoughts are not shameful. They are the raw material of a life. These children grow up knowing their desires are bestowed by nature. They just need to figure out how to channel them. The channeling is the work. The desire itself is not the problem. I did not grow up in that house. I absorbed rigidity, stubbornness, a way of moving through the world that was braced, not open. My parents didn't teach me to categorize my desires into should and should not. They demonstrated it. They lived inside the wall. And I, like every other child, mimicked the energy around me and brought it into every other realm of my life. The word is not learned. It is not innate. No child is above censoring their desires. Categorization should not, safe, dangerous, acceptable, shameful is absorbed from the people around you before you have words to question it. And once the wall goes up, the desire that was supposed to find an outlet outside become inner baggage. They don't disappear, they just stop being visible to you. They become the unclarity, the anxiety, the overcarrying. Your words are casting spells. In 1928, a woman named Florence Scovel Shinn wrote a book called Your Word is Your Wand. The title is literal. She believed spoken words have creative power, that what you say aloud shapes the reality you live in. She wrote, a person standing calm and serene, happy when appearances are against him, has reached mastery. His word was his wand, and he transmutes apparent failure into success. She wrote, by your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned. She wrote, change your words, and you change your word. For your word is your word. Now here is what I want you to sit with. The short voice is a word. It is a spell. It's spoken, maybe not aloud, but internally, with the same force, the same repetition, the same creative power. Every time you say, I should not have said that, you are waving a wand. You are casting a spell that reinforces the word. You are hardening the brick. The short voice is fear dressed as morality. It sounds like wisdom, it sounds like caution, it sounds like being a good person, but it's fear. She wrote that many people have lost what they prize most dearly in life because invariably they fear loss. The short voice is a fear that if you let the desire out, if you let it find its outlet outside, you will be punished. You will be seen, you will be laughed at the way you were laughed at in school. So you point the wand at yourself. You cast the spell inward. You build the wall higher. The problem is deeper than psychology. David Bayer calls this casting spells through complaint. Your spoken word is the bridge between your inner vibration and outer reality. When you complain about your circumstances, about yourself, about the way things are, you harden those circumstances into your experience. You reinforce the reality you are desperate to escape. The short voice is a form of complaint. It's a complaint against yourself. I should not have said that. It's the same energy as the situation is wrong and I'm stuck in it. It's a spell that compounds the problem. And Bayer said something that rewired my brain. Problems are designed by nature to come and pass. They're not meant to stay. But when you speak about them, when you narrate them, when you reinforce them with your words, they harden. They become permanent. The war of should is a problem that was never allowed to pass. It was narrated into permanence. Every I should and I should not was another cost of mortar. The practice Bayer suggests is to stop your problems of energy through what you speak, to stop narrating them, to stop giving them the words, to walk away from the problem so the solution can emerge. This is not ignoring reality, it's refusing to reinforce a reality that was never yours to begin with. Robert Greene and the Sublime, Shinn and Bayer both point at something. But the problem is deeper than psychology. It's a problem of language itself. Greene, in his forthcoming book, The Law of the Sublime, argues that we are trapped inside the concepts and words we use to build human society. Languages give us the ability to cooperate, to transmit culture, to build civilization, but it also limits us. It narrows our perception. It filters the world through categories: should not, acceptable, shameful, safe, dangerous, and then convince us the categories are the word. Nature does not operate in words. A forest does not categorize. The force that makes a seed push through soil, that makes a body heal a wound, that made you full of desire and ambition before the world went up. This energy is pre-verbal. It's a flow. It's a whole undivided movement. Language breaks the flow into pieces. It names things. It separates them. It labels one desire acceptable and other shameful. And the moment you do that, you lose contact with the thing itself. You are no longer feeling the desire. You are thinking about the desire. You are no longer in the flow. You are standing outside it, categorizing it, building a wall out of the categories. The sublime, Greene's term, is anything that exceeds our capacity for words. Anything too vast, too dark, too mysterious, too alive to be captured by language. When you stand at the edge of the ocean, when you watch a storm rolling, when you feel the presence of someone you love without needing to speak, in those moments, the world sings. The categories fall away. You are just here, feeling alive. The wall of shield is at its deepest level, a wall of language. Every break is a word, every spire is a sentence. And we've been taught since childhood to trust the words more than the feeling, to believe the category more than the desire, to live in the map instead of the territory. This is not a metaphor, it's a neurological fact. When the short voice is running, you are burning cognitive bandwidth you don't have. I have been so stuck in words that I forgot what was actually happening before the words. Words had taken so much bandwidth that I couldn't plan even one small step ahead. I couldn't direct my focus. I was drowning in narration and starving in the real, the game beneath the words. Let me go back to the stranger on the street. His look, his licentious, shameless look. I interpreted it through words, through shows. He should not look at me like that. I should not have drawn his attention. I should be more careful. But what if I had been able to say what was actually there before the words rushed in? Here is what Greene teaches. Most of what people project is the opposite of what they are. A lecherous look doesn't mean someone is overflowing with desire. It means they're stubbed. It means they don't have someone intimate. It means they're stuck in things they can't express. So they channel their fantasy outward, onto strangers. Offensive behavior, disdain, contempt, those are not signs of strength. They are signs of deep insecurity. This is a power game. It's a game of energy, and it's happening all the time. Beneath the words is a pre-verbal flow between people. The stranger's look was not about me. It was about him, his energy, his starvation, his stagnance, leaking out and looking for somewhere to land. And I caught it. I let it land on me. I let his projection become my word. I should not have said that. What if I had been able to feel the game instead of narrating it? What if I had registered his look as information, as a signal about his internal state, not about my worth, and let it pass through me without catching? This is what words steal from us. They steal the ability to feel the psychological energy flow directly. They drown out our primal instincts. They interrupt the biological and natural energy design that would, if we let it, tell us exactly what was happening and how to respond. Projection is confession in reverse. And most of us are so busy narrating that we miss it entirely. The four-word method. The word is not yours. It was built from bricks you didn't fire, rigidity absorbed from parents, shame forced through society, spells cast in the wrong direction, but the word is in your body. And the body can learn to let it down. The clearance is not about more words, it's about less. 4 words, 4 moves. This is the method. Number 1, stop the narration. The short voice feeds on your attention. Every time you engage with it, even to argue, even to reframe, even to affirm the opposite, you are feeding it. You are giving it bandwidth. You're keeping the language centers running hot where the deeper parts of the brain go dark. Here is the practice. It's simpler than you think. When the short voice activates, notice it. Don't argue. Don't add another layer. Don't try to replace it with a better thought. Just to notice it and let it pass. Problems are designed by nature to come and pass. When you stop narrating them, they dissolve. Number 2, drop beneath the words. The war of language has consumed your cognitive bandwidth. It's left you without the resources to plan even one small step ahead. The remedy is to not think harder, is to think lower. This is not about failing immersively. It's a chess game, played in real time. On the pre-verbal board, the pieces are psychological energy. The moves are what you choose to say or do, or not to say, or not to do. When you drop the narration, you recover the bandwidth to play. You can look at another person and ask, not what does this mean about me, but if I say this, will it land? Will it be acceptable to them, desirable even? What will the action be? And does this reaction keep both of us feel good and move us closer or away from it? The word of truth is a rulebook written by someone else. Dropping beneath the words is learning to read the room and write your own move in the moment based on where you want to go. You don't need a rule that says don't say that word in public. You need the bandwidth to feel the room, predict the reaction, and decide this word right now with this person nearby, does it serve us or not? Number 3, fear the game. Don't narrate it. The stranger's look was not about you. The criticism was not about you. The disdain was not about you. These are energy leaks, signals about the other person's internal state. When you narrate them, what did they mean? What should I have done? You catch them. You let them land. You convert their leakage into your war. When you fear them instead, when you register the energy and let it pass through without catching, you stay free. You stay in the flow. You keep your bandwidth for what matters. This is what Greene means by the armor of indifference. It's not about being cold. It's about being so present, so grounded in the pre-verbal that external chaos can't penetrate. Words bounce off, the projections don't land. Number 4, move. Let one desire reach the outside without permission. The desire is still there. It hasn't disappeared. It's pressing against the wall from the inside. But the wall is made of language, of categories, of shows, of endless internal negotiation about whether the desire is acceptable. The clearance is to drop the negotiation, not to think about whether the desire is okay, not to reframe it, not to affirm it, just to let it move. Say the word, take the small action, express the preference. The body learns through doing, not through thinking. Every time you let a desire reach outside without first running it through the language filter, the world loses a break, and the short voice will try to catch up. It will try to narrate what you just did. Let it. The narration is slower than the action. The action already happened, the word already thinned, the body already learned. Closing. I keep coming back to that stranger. His look, my shame. The shame was a body memory, an old recording of a time when being seen was dangerous. The problem was what I did next. I handed him the wand. I let his look become my word. But his look was not about me. It was his energy, his starvation, his darkness. The licentiousness was not desire. It was like. The shamelessness was not confidence. It was the absence of someone who sees him. He was leaking, and I caught it. I don't need to catch it. I don't need to narrate it. I don't need to turn his leakage into my war. The war is not solid. It's held in place by the spells you keep casting and by the bandwidth you keep giving to words that were never yours. The moment you stop narrating, the moment you drop beneath the words and feel what is actually there, the moment you let one small desire find its way outside without permission, the war begins to sing. Not because you tore it down, because you stopped feeding it. And what's underneath the war is not emptiness. It was the flow, the energy that was there before the words. The sublime waiting in the body, asking only that you stop talking long enough to feel it. The short voice is not your voice. It's absorbed rigidity. It's borrowed shame. It's a spell someone else cast that you've been repeating so long it feels like architecture. Your desires are legitimate. They are bestowed by nature. They are what kept you alive and full of energy before the war went up. They are meant to find an outlet outside and become something real. The world is not yours. It's made of language, and the language is not the word. It's a map, the territory, the flow, the energy, the game beneath the words. It's still there. It has always been there. You just forgot to look because you are so busy narrating. Stop narrating. Drop beneath the words. There's the game. The word is not yours. The one is. Start there.